Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee with Kem and Hills. Happy Monday. Happy beginning of the week. I hope you all have a big old cup of coffee because it's just the beginning, isn't it?
It is. It's only the beginning.
It is only the beginning. Did you have a good restorative weekend?
I did. It was kind of lovely. The weather has changed to summertime, and I am so excited.
Yeah.
So the splash pads in our city are open.
Oh, nice.
And we just love playing in the water. And by we, I mean my daughter.
Yes.
So that was really nice. And I got to go for not one, but 2 runs by myself, which is like
so great.
my me time, and I love it.
It's your therapy.
It's my therapy.
Yeah.
I love it when it's warm and
Just get your sweat on.
Just get the sweat on.
Get it all out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice. I know it's, with the weather change, it is so much easier to parent because there's so many more activities available to us. And we just live outside at this point.
Yeah.
Even if I have work to do, I do it out on like our patio and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know, it's just such a mood lifter.
It is. It really is.
I know. I mean, my husband's out doing yard work, and that is his therapy. He could be outside all day planting flowers.
Ooh. Did not know that about him.
Yes, he has a green thumb.
All right.
I mean, my husband is a little like obsessive compulsive, maybe. He's not formally diagnosed with anything, but when he really loves something, it is just, okay. And so we have a lot of live plants in our house. And it's like a greenhouse inside there.
I love it.
Yeah.
Do they move outside during the summertime and then come back in during the winter, or is it you just have indoor and outdoor?
We have indoor and outdoor. Okay. A lot.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, the man can't leave the house without coming back with more plants. It's wild. My dad especially, he comes and he's like, you have a lot of plants in here every time. It's like as if he forgets, a lot of plants in here. Yeah, I know. It's tan. But it's good.
Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, kind of similar. We have like this little splash pad from Target that we got that like has little streams that comes out. And it was Murphy's first time kind of doing that because now she's old enough where she can kind of play around and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, she loved it. It was fun. Yeah, it was just relaxing, hang out outside kind of weekend. Nothing major to report.
Yeah,
which is what I like. Honestly.
Right. It's what I need these days.
Yeah, seriously. I think everyone does. We need restorative weekends, okay?
We do.
All right, so we are going to dive into some hot topics. First, we're going to start with how to minimize taxes after you retire. And this is from the San Diego Union Tribute.
Yeah.
Okay, so a way to avoid the overall tax that you will be paying is by pushing your retirement back. I mean, that makes sense, right? So if you retire at 70 instead of 65, obviously that is going to save you some money. But the thing is you might not want to.
Right. So I think it always makes sense to talk with a tax professional or a financial planner, even if you're not going to work with them every single year or on a consistent basis, but to have somebody help set you up for success as you get into retirement.
And to plan that like 10 years before retirement so that they can really look at what you have set up and probably what you'll have going into it. And they can give you a bit of a game plan for how you can prepare.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think one of the other things is that they talk about in this article too is that, doing a Roth conversion of your IRA or your 401k, you can do that ahead of time before retirement and help save some money or taxes on the back end by doing it then. But really, once you're already in retirement, it's not going to be a super helpful tool for you. So that's why talking to somebody 10 years before you're actually ready to retire can help you make those decisions before retirement to set you up for success in retirement.
Right. Because in the article, they actually had somebody writing into an advisor and they were saying, oh my gosh, I think they were, I've turned 70, I've been retired for 5 years, and now I'm in a much higher tax bracket all of a sudden. Should I have done this conversion?
Right.
Or can I still? And it was just, at that point, it was too late. So these are the things that, you can sort of implement ahead of time to make sure that, your taxes don't jump all of a sudden mid-retirement and it's something you haven't planned for.
Exactly.
Yep. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but we will be right back with more hot topics. All right. Welcome back, everyone. Okay, we're going to dive into another hot topic. Today's article is 3 retirement strategies that are as risky as penny stocks. And this is from The Motley Fool. I like that name.
Yep.
Motley Fool. It sounds like a band.
It does.
Right?
Yes.
Is Motley Crue a band?
It is. Yes.
Oh, that's why.
Uh-huh. Yeah. With Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee.
Oh, there you go.
You know.
I knew it reminded me
drummer.
of something.
Yeah. Pretty sure that's what he's on.
So it's The Motley Fool, not to be confused with The Motley Crue.
No.
I digress.
Right.
Anyway, so, okay, number 1. Putting off retirement savings now with the intention of saving more later.
Yes. I think that this is huge, and I think it's one that people need to hear over and over and over again.
Because you're not thinking about retirement.
Especially when you're younger.
Yeah, when you're in your 20s, you're not thinking about it.
You need to start saving for your retirement in your 20s.
Right.
Because it sets you up for success.
And the outgoing is so much lower and your return is so much higher, right? So your monthly, what you'd be putting in and what you'd be getting back and what you'd be spending overall to get that back.
Right.
It's major, just from like 20 to 30, right?
So at 25, if you put in $403 per month until you get to 65, that should get you to about $1 million in retirement, which is currently the golden standard for retirement, like amount to have for retirement.
Right.
If you start at 30, which is only 5 years to your point,
Right.
you have to up that to $582 per month to get to the same amount because you don't have that longevity of compound interest.
Yes, compound interest. Never forget it. Never forget it.
So it really does.
It's working for you.
Exactly. Start early. And you can catch up. Like, obviously you can if you are living paycheck to paycheck in your 20s and even in your 30s.
Totally.
Like, you can catch up once you are earning more.
Yeah, but you are going to have to give out more.
Yes,
right.
exactly.
So that money has to be available to you at some point. But yeah, it's just, oh man, we just drill this. Like, start early.
Exactly. One of the other things too, as a part of this, is that you can borrow for a lot of other purchases before you get older, but you can't borrow in retirement, really.
Right. So they're saying with a car, with a house.
Yeah. There's a lot of other ways you can borrow money for your kids' education.
Right.
But not putting the money aside for your own retirement really...
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
You can't get to retirement and take out a retirement loan.
Exactly. They're like, when are you going to pay this back?
Right. And you're like, oh, someday. Like, right. Okay. One strategy is to save 25 times your annual salary. Okay, so that's a little bit of math that you all have to do.
So this is a really good math for so one of the other strategies, number 2, is to saving an arbitrary sum without calculating exactly how much you are going to need in retirement.
Right.
Because your retirement needs might be different than yours.
Right.
Like, we might have different lifestyles when we retire. We might be living in different places that have a different cost of living.
Right.
Different hobbies that might cost differently. So, like we talked about, that $1 million retirement fund has been the gold standard for many years, but it might not be, it might be more, it might be less, depending on what kind of lifestyle you plan to have
so
when
they
you are
say
retired.
25 times your personal annual salary is to kind of keep you within the realm of what your lifestyle is. So that's just, one technique to, try and keep you within the world that you've been living in, so you don't suddenly hit retirement and say, oh my gosh, I have to cut back in all of these areas.
Right.
Which is the next tip, which is planning to make up for savings shortfall by cutting expenses in retirement. I don't think you're going to be happy with that decision once you hit retirement.
No.
I don't know, but
And this is why making sure that you have calculated your expenses,
right,
your lifestyle for
People's
retirement.
wants and needs are different, you know, like some people really love to travel and or they really like nice things and they want to have like, oh, for retirement I want that nice car that I've always wanted.
Right. I think one of the other things to your point to consider is, you know, if you're trying to make up for not saving enough when you're in retirement, maybe you already are planning a frugal retirement and you don't have extra money that you can take out. Or also there's possibly a lot more medical or other emergencies that if you don't plan for, you don't have enough set aside.
Right. Because there's the essentials you can't actually cut out of your budget.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Like groceries, medical things that also there's so much unknown with that as we get older as well.
And they say your medical expenses could go up as you get older because you just need more medical attention typically.
And as we are learning, people are living longer, which is a great thing, but that typically means medical costs are going up and retirement costs as well.
Exactly. So making sure you're saving early and you're really figuring out what your retirement budget should be so that you are putting aside the amount of money that you need is super important.
Yes, and meeting with that tax professional prior to retirement so you can customize a plan that is best for you. All right, we are going to take a quick commercial break, but we will be right back to talk about the shows airing today on ROI TV. Welcome back, everyone. I just wanted to remind you all that you don't want to miss today's episodes of Your Money, Your Wealth, ETF Stories, and Life's Third Act. You can catch all of these episodes on ROI TV. Where?
On your Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or on your phone on your own time on either your iOS or Android.
Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Coffee with Kemin Hills. We will see you tomorrow with another big old cup of coffee.